I mean, I'll take, Gibbs. I seen Gibbs throw a punch. He ain't scared. But I think Justin Haley might get him. I don't know. I think he might have a little bit of that dog in him, man. But at the end of the day, I don't know what Ty Gibbs was thinking, boy. He tried to launch a like Tesla rocket, boy. He tried to launch a damn spaceship into orbit. It hurt him more than it hurt Justin Haley. I mean, it hurt. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. The first episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin' for the 2025 season. It's always a pleasure to be back, man. Big shout out and thanks to all the sponsors. We'll go ahead and get that out the way. Arbor Man, Lamar's Body Shop, Liberty Forge, Redfin, Coach's Corner, East Coast Logistics, everybody involved, man. Big shout out to them. Without them, none of this is possible. So got some good things to look forward to in this 2025 season of NASCAR, and also here on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Some really cool giveaways, some new things we're going to incorporate. I've got some stuff that I've had, personal collections I'm going to start giving away on the show. Nothing crazy valuable, but, some cool pieces of the 90s nostalgia NASCAR there for sure. We're going to be doing some card break type stuff. We'll see if anybody wants to get involved in that. That's out there to our subscribers and followers. Basically we're going to do it, and everything that we raise doing this is going to go towards those charities, man. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but a lot of good things for 2025 season, not only for Rubbin' and Grubbin' and NASCAR, but coaches as well, man. So if you're new to the show, hey, man, the way we like to start it out is what we call the word of the day. Basically, the way we play this is I'm going to say a word. I have no idea what it is, but Lawrence is going to throw it up. Every time I say it, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. Like I said, it's age appropriate. If you're under 21, man, we're in the school year. It's February. We're getting there, though. It's February, Thursday, usually on Wednesday, but it's Thursday. Man, tomorrow's Friday. Look, get some sweet tea, Red Bull, stay up late, play along, man. So this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, but every time I say it, make sure you take a sip, man. So getting into some NASCAR news, hey, I got to start it off, man. Chase the Bulldog, Elliott, baby, starting 2025 outright from the pole position, getting the win there, and I'll be damned, baby. That's the way we start this out in 2025. My boy coming in with the win. I like it. Now we just got to make sure he can do it when it counts. I need 4 wins out of Chase Elliott this season. I always do my season bet for the last couple years. To be honest, y'all, I'm like $200 in the hole to a certain somebody. We bet 100 a year, over and under 4. I need Chase to show up for me, man. I need Elliott to get in there. I need him to get 4 point-paying wins this season. So we'll see if he can do it, man. But a good way to start the season, good mojo. I will say this. I was just talking to Lawrence about it. He looked happy. Looked rejuvenated. Looked like he had a little more pep in his step. And I think that's kind of maybe what he's been lacking the past couple years. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully he keeps it all season long and we go out and get some checkers, man. A lot more than 1. We need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins this year. He needs to go get it, show some dominance, man. But we'll see what happens. But there again, great way to start it out. Great way to start out a win there in the Clash. Xfinity extends our partnership there with NASCAR through 2025. It's the pretty much premier sponsor of the Busch Series, or, the one step below Cup Series in NASCAR. And what they're going to do is they're still going to be a majority sponsor and title ship sponsor for 2025, but 2026 coming in, they're just going to be pretty much a primary sponsor. They're not going to sponsor the championship run anymore, so kind of doing their own thing there. But good to see them still be a part. I think they started in 2014, 15, somewhere around in there. Thanks when they got it over from Nationwide or whatever. So, 10 years, a decade run, that's not bad at all. So big congrats and hats off to Xfinity for doing that and sticking around as long. And we know NASCAR got somebody to plug in. I mean, come on, that's how that always works out. So speaking of some extensions, man, Interstate Battery, I tell you what, this is one of the longest running sponsorships out there with organizations and teams. It kind of goes along the old DuPont days with Hendrick and different things. But, man, they've been around with Joe Gibbs since the 90s. They're holding strong. Interstate Battery extends it, man. You'll see it on numerous car numbers this year. I know Hamlin runs it a couple times, Gibbs and Christopher Bell. I don't know. I'm sure Briscoe will run it, too, at some point in time. So, but at the end of the day, really neat deal there. And what a great way to, just keep it in, keep it rolling, man. Toyota, I guess, and Interstate are locked in forever. So, really cool deal. I don't know if you guys have read anything about this, but it is a really cool thing coming up in the IROC series. If you guys hadn't done your homework or anything, Ray Evernham bought into IROC, I don't know, a while back. I don't know how long ago, but they're getting ready to run some cool stuff, man. It is, let's see, make sure I get this right. Where are we at? Yeah, IROC series, man. Getting ready to Rolex Monterey race, and it's at where's that? Laguna Seca, which Gordon's never raced there. Now, Mark Martin, you got Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte. Who else you got coming in, man? Bill Elliott, Ken Schrader. Come on, man. The fan of the show, Ken Schrader, my favorite one out of the whole bunch outside Gordon. Come on, man. But at the end of the day, you know, Gordon never got to race there. It's going to be really neat in the IROC series. You know, Mark Martin's, I don't know, I think a 3, 4, 5-time IROC champion. I think Bobby Labonte's got some wins there too. So going to be really neat to see. I've actually mentioned it on the show. I think it would be really cool for NASCAR to bring back an older style car and have, you know, 25 lap little runs or whatever it may be. You know, of some you know, legends of the sport that still want to get out and race, just don't want to do it full time. I mean, Tony Stewart's and Jimmy Johnson's and Gordon's and Bill Elliott, and Mark Martin and Carl Edwards, and I mean, think about it. All these retired guys would be cool, kind of like the you know, senior tour on PGA, but for NASCAR. It'd be something neat. It's a good idea. They should look into that, man. So if you guys haven't yet, man, please go out, like, share, follow, all that social media, y'all. Again, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, but most of all, go subscribe to that YouTube channel. It helps more eyes on the show the more we get on the checkered flag for charity, which we're going to do a few little mixed bag this year again. We got a few little things. We're starting it off this year. It really hits close to home for me. A really good buddy of mine, his dad had some medical issues earlier in the year. He hadn't been able to make it back to work. The family's struggling pretty good. So we're going to raise some money for them coming up this year. We got Will Hare Racing. Obviously, you know, we pull hard for Will. We've got some good stuff going his way. And, you know, we got some charitable things here I'm sure John and Adele will be putting on. So we're going to spread the love this year. But again, anybody that comes out to any of these Soundgarden shows or anytime you're up at Coach's, man, feel free to want to donate into that checkered flag for charity. It really is a really good cause. It all stays local in the area right here. You know, and that's the best part about it. You get to feel good for a good cause that you know is going to a good place. And, you know, that's the way to do it, man. And if you're new to tuning in, the way we do it, man, is whatever car number wins, we donate in. And hey, the 9-1, that's never good enough. Anything under Christopher Bell in the 20 car is always a 20. That starts us off, man. We're at $21 this year so far, man. We're doing good. I can do that math, Lawrence. I got that, man. Now, that's beer math sometimes for me, man. I got it. I could do that math. But, yeah, so again, man, if you're able to and you're coming up for some shows, bring a little bit of extra cash. We'll have Cooler Full of Joys, man. We're going to have a lot of other cool giveaways, too. Some gift baskets wrapped up from different businesses here in Savannah. Going to try to get some tickets set up here to a NASCAR race later on this spring or maybe early summer. But just some things, man. So if you're interested and you like it, bring some extra cash up here to Coach's. Again, as always, make sure you're checking us out. If you'd like to support, you know, my buddy Todd Barton and his dad, Rudy Barton, anybody that knows Rudy out there, you can find out about them. They got a GoFundMe page set up. But, man, what a great guy. I mean, older gentleman, still working to this day just to stay busy. A little pro shop out there in the bowling alley in Pooler. Todd's been, I mean, that's a brother. It's family to me. I've known him since I was 4 years old. One of the first people I ever knew when I moved here. And one of my best friends, that's a brother. So we're going to do everything we can to help them out, man, and get them back set straight. And all these other good causes. But like I said, if you're interested, man, make sure you check out that GoFundMe page. I'll have some more information on that next week. But definitely, man, you know, local guy needing some help. Really good guy, man. Great family. So getting ready to get into that who's hot and who's not. But before we do, I got to give a big shout out to my main man, Mr. Parker Eccles, owner-operator over there at Arbor Man Tree Service. The best tree service in the Savannah area. Like I said, doesn't matter what it is, full tree removal, stump grinding, getting some limbs cut back, need an estimate, make sure you give Parker and his crew a call over there at Arbor Man. You'll see that number scrolling all night long. Locally owned and operated, fully insured. Hey, like I said, man, you mentioned you saw it on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. He might even cut a little bit off the top. You know what I mean? That's just how he rolls, man. But as I always like to say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby, over there at Arbor Man. Love you. Yeah, I just got a phone with him earlier, man. We're going to have a good time up there at Atlanta. Should be really interesting, man. Going to be a good group of folks there here in a few weeks. So, getting into the who's hot, man. And I tell you what, I don't really know what to base this off of. Do you base this off of last year and what we coming into? Do we base this off of what we saw at Bowman-Gray? I mean, we really can't, right? I like to be hype about it and say, Elliott's got to be number one on the hot list. But, well, let's just break down manufacturers, I think. And I think right now number one on that list has got to be Ford. All right, and I hate to say it. And the only reason I say it is because they won a championship. That kind of trumps everything, right? We can sit here and say race wins and this and speed and yada, yada. But at the end of the day, Ford did win the championship. To me, the weakest championship in the sport ever won, if you look at average finish, but he did what he needed to do to win it. I'm done talking about last year. We're on to 2025. So Ford will come out hot. They showed really good speed at a lot of super speedway races, Daytona, Atlanta, Talladega. They just seemed to lose it or not be able to put it all together on race day. Now, we did see, Logano get that victory there at Atlanta, and we did, a nice, fine mixed bag between Fords and Chevy and Toyotas on some of those super speedway races. But it did seem like they were always fast. So I think this year they can put it together and kind of get a wrap-around mile and a half a little bit better for a majority week in and week out. I think they'll have a better shot at being in more contention with a better finishing average. So we'll see. But two, come on, it's got to be Chevy. You look at it, the wins last year were just insane between William Byron and, Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott got his one and Bowman got that one. I mean, hey, it is what it is. That's part of what it is. But Chevy's coming strong. The bow tie camp in HMS, they're never going anywhere. Ain't no damn way in hell that Roger Penske about to win 3 damn championships back to back to back, or 4 of them, or whatever it is, 4 in a row. It ain't happening. We're going to rain on the parade. You're going to see a Hendrick Motorsports driver win the championship this year.
Don't hate the players.
I'm not hating the players. I'm not hating the players one bit, but damn if that last 10 race game ain't weak. That's weak. But either way, man, they're coming strong. Chevy, I think Chevy's the most well-balanced team when you look out there. They run good everywhere. They might not dominate everywhere outside of the 5, right? I mean, I think we know Kyle Larson, you go to certain mile and a halves in certain places, he's going to bring the heat every week. But other than that, man, at the end of the day, I still think all around Chevy's got good camp. Toyota, I'm not ranking them third, saying they're last or anything like that. Toyota brings really good speed as well, and let's be honest, Joe Gibbs is no slouch over there. I think what they're going through right now is going to be some growing pains. You got Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, right, for the most part. Ty Gibbs, I don't even really, we're going to talk about Ty Gibbs in a little bit, but at the end of the day, young, got some money right there. Chase Briscoe, won a couple races here in the Cup Series, coming over from Stewart Haas, still an unknown there, got to mold into the team. So it's kind of like growing pains, right? They got to go through some growing pains this year. I think Christopher Bell's at that perfect age to start coming into his own. You've seen it over the last couple of years. Hamlin's going to do what Denny Hamlin does. He's going to go out and win, choke when it comes down to the championship. I mean, that's just kind of what happens, but we'll see how it goes. Long race season, but that's my predictions for it. So right now, Toyota will be third, man. So getting into the who's not, man, I tell you what, on the who's not, we're going to just talk about NASCAR a little bit. So the point system, as I just mentioned, is definitely on the who's not. I mean, for sure, if you ask me. We got to change it up. Maybe this year will be the last year before next year. Like, they need to start working on that mid-season. Like, by mid-season, we need to come up with a new plan and an announcement of a different point system for 2026. I'm not saying take it all the way. The stage racing's fine. The playoff points awarded are fine. But when we get into the last 10, we shouldn't have elimination. I mean, I know that kind of the drama of it and what you boil it down to, but we shouldn't have elimination, or we should only be chiseling down 2 guys at a time instead of 4 or something. I mean, we got to change it up. Race wins got to mean more. Regular series championship has to mean more. You can't find a way to get in, point your way in or win a race and be 28th in points and, come out to win a championship. I mean, I just don't think that's right when the guy that won the most races isn't in it. So we just got to do some things there. I think that even if we go into award positions that will be guaranteed to run for a championship, the most race wins on the season, the regular season champion, et cetera, guaranteed a spot to run for the championship. And I think we need more than 4 cars. I think that makes it a little more interesting as well. Why are we narrowing it down to 4, and why are we eliminating 4? I think, if anybody, it should be 2. And if anything, there should be, I think, 10 guys that should run for a championship. But that's just me. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, even if they revamp it and let's say playoff wins count for a championship point. You got playoff points during the regular season and championship points during the playoffs, to where if you win a race, it counts a championship point, and that gets you 5 points above drivers that are running for the championship. I don't know, but something's got to give, man. We got to change it up. It's outgrown it. The sport's outgrown it. We're too equal as ownership in cars right now, so that's going to be number 1 on the not list for me for sure. Two, we got to quit switching up some tracks, man. We got to get back to NASCAR roots. I'm excited about Rockingham this year, y'all. That's going to be awesome. Hopefully the Cup Series gets there next year or the year after, within the next couple for sure. But Mexico City, we'll see. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show and what it is. Richmond losing a date, you know, coming over for that. Moving some dates around. Some tracks I think deserve 2 dates. Some I think can spare to lose a date. I mean, I don't know. We need to do some things different, but at the end of the day, got to get back to some real tracks and do some things a little bit different in the sport for sure. So that's going to wrap it up for the Who's Not, man. We are getting ready to get into this Bowman-Gray recap, baby. But before we do, we're going to pause for station identification right here. Coach's Corner Sports Network, rubbing and grubbing. Happy Thursday, y'all. Cheers, man. All right, man. So, talking about Bowman-Gray, it was way better than what I expected. All right, I will say that. I expected a whole nother LA clash. Every other lap's going to be a wreck. Everybody's wrecking. You can't pass. Can't do this. Can't do that. It was totally different. I give it mad respect. That was a really good short track race there. I still don't believe these cars are made to race on that style racetrack. That was what, 23 we had starting. You definitely don't want to see 36 or 38 on that track. But I like the direction that NASCAR's headed with that compared to a clash, right? I like the fact of going to an older racetrack, putting some money into the infrastructure and leaving it there. You know, I mean, I think that's awesome. I think it's great for the racetrack, for the facility. It's good for the sport. But it turned out great. I mean, it was, you know, I saw a lot of the 3-bump rule. I was talking to one of my uncles earlier today about that, and you hadn't seen that in a long time. You know, 1, 2, 3, bump you the first time, hey, I'm here. 2, all right, get out of my way. 3, see you later, you know, move you. And you saw a lot of calamity as well. At the end of the day, I thought it was pretty good. I'd like to see him go back there for the clash or an all-star race, a money race. I don't know why we're not paying money during the clash, honestly. I think that should be something that we do too. But at the end of the day, it was really good. I'd like to see it go back there next year. And if we moved it around every couple of years to a different historic NASCAR track or short track around the country or did something different, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. So as I mentioned earlier, man, y'all know Chase the Bulldog Elliott, baby, coming home with that checkers right there. Man, I tell you what, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Who won the Clash last year?
19.
You sure? Was it? That what happened last year? You sure? You sure that wasn't the year before? Damn, I don't know who won it last year. I should have looked before I came on. But I tell you what, man, I'm glad to see my boy at least back in victory lane, even though it was an exhibition race. I'm glad to see it. He's got to bring some strong heat coming into Daytona and throughout the year. But good luck. Keep up the good work. Him and Alan Gustafson, I'm telling you, they click pretty decent. I think he's back. I think he found a little flame, a little fire he'd been missing. I think so. I think he's going to be good, so. Ryan Blaney, man, had a rocket ship as well there at Bowman-Gray. And I tell you what, it started, yeah, Lawrence throwing up Ford symbols, cuss words. I'll throw $1 in there. Started shotgun on the field, too, man. Started dead loud. I mean, it wasn't, nothing. He just like, whatever. Made it there methodically. Passed cars left and right, man. He made some moves. Really good piece of equipment. So that was awesome to see. And Denny Hamlin came home third. So what was awesome there again, Chevy, Ford, and Toyota, man. 1, 2, and 3, busting it down. All 3 of them had really good runs, really good cars. They raced each other so respectably good. Nobody really laid the door and the bumpers on really hard. Nothing that was out of need, and I thought it was great. Now it didn't go without the drama, as they always do. Ty Gibbs and Justin Haley. Boy, I think they could be brothers, really, when you pull them out and kind of put the sunglasses on side by side. They could be brothers. And I would like to see that, like, in a boxing match. I'd take that. I'd take Justin Haley. I'll take, Gibbs. I seen Gibbs throw a punch. He ain't scared. He ain't scared, but I think Justin Haley might get him. I don't know. I think he might have a little bit of that dog in him, man. But at the end of the day, I don't know what Ty Gibbs was thinking, boy. He tried to launch a like Tesla rocket, boy. He tried to launch a damn spaceship into orbit. It hurt him more than it hurt Justin Haley. It hurt that car. They're like, what are you doing, man? You're trying to kill people out here, but that's just the age showing right there. Young kid, he's always been hot-headed. He gonna learn. He gonna learn that first time somebody get a hold of him, I knew a guy that was like that his whole career and smoked. His name was Tony Stewart. He was like that his whole career, but I think he's a little bit bigger. He might be a little bit meaner than Ty Gibbs, too. I don't think Ty Gibbs that mean, but we'll see, man. But a good showing all in all for NASCAR. As I said, man, all three main manufacturers there showing a good run, showing the potential on the season, showing they're in it to win it. But the bow tie comes out victorious. And, you know, Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, come on, man. It's the best. NASCAR's greatest team ever. You might as well chalk it up. So going to be awesome, man. So we're going to preview the Daytona 500 in a way. I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to name 5 guys to look out for this week and just some things that I'm looking forward to in Daytona. But we can't preview the whole race yet because, I mean, we still got the Super Bowl this weekend. And then we got, you know, Daytona coming up. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think we saw last year, you know, survival of the fittest still. I think that it's going to come down to if you can manage the car, stay clean, obviously put yourself in position at the end. Have a friend to push. I mean, all the keys that it takes to win a super speedway race. We know this. I think that what you're going to see this year and what you see at Daytona more than you do some of the other super speedway races is the manufacturer teams working together. Again, Toyota puts an oddball out there. Now, they are racking up. They do have a few more. They've been gaining over the years, so we'll see what they can do. I mean, that's kind of a thing to look at. Again, I think not being caught up in the big one is the key to success there. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. It's sold out yet again. You know, it's such an awesome deal to start out NASCAR season with the biggest race of the year compared to waiting till the end. Now, you know, the championship is still the championship, but to have that big purse at the very first race of the year, and all these guys trying to make the race and running to make it in, I think it's just awesome. So, you know, big shout out to them for doing that. I think it's going to be great. Like I said, survival of the fittest. This isn't going to be too crazy. I mean, you guys should know me, and I know enough by now. I mean, you know, this isn't too nuts at all. So I think that Chevy and Hendrick, man, they're coming back for that pole. I don't remember if they got the pole last year or not. I know they won it. I know they finished 1-2. But I don't know if they started up front or not. I know it was 4, 5, 6 years in a row, or however many years. They're coming back for it this year. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm sticking with it. I think you're going to see the 9 up front a majority of that day hunting for the win for a Daytona 500. It's in his blood. It's in his blood, man. He's going to come get it. This year might be the year for him for sure. So be on the lookout, man. Yeah, that would have Ford. Yeah, there it is, front row. Ford again, front row motorsports, McDowell and Gilliland. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, that's cool, man. I mean, you know, I told you Ford was fast all year. So switching up a little bit this year. Last year we kind of did this thing. I named my 5, and then we got into the money line. Well, the money line is now officially the top 5 and what we're betting on every week. You're not differing anything from the top 5 and the dark horses I pick every week, because if we would have just stuck to it last year, we would have been on it. We did decent, but we didn't have any real big hits. We didn't do great. So this year we're sticking to the 5, and that's what we're running with. Now, look, you got to give me some leeway. This might change between now and next week. I doubt it will, but it might, all right? But getting into that money line, baby, presented by Redfin Polarized Sunglasses, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Made for the woods and the water. It don't matter if you got a wall hanger or money on the line. Make sure you see it clearly with the best polarized sunglasses on the planet, Redfin Polarized. I'm telling you guys, man, make sure you check that website out. So many different frame styles, polarization, colors, lenses, what you need, prescription. They got it all, man. They got the swag. I got to get a new one. I rocked this one for a couple of years now. They got a different style new one that I really like too. So I'm going to have to hit them up and get on that, man. But I tell you what, Carl Zeiss Linda's Italian frames, these things are freaking awesome, man. Again, whether it's offshore or on the lake, don't get caught without your red fins, baby. And as always, live life fins up, Redfin Polarized. Hit that checkout, rubbing and grubbing, 15% off right there, man. Save you a little bit. So getting into it. Top 5 here, money line. I didn't even look at odds yet. We're still a couple weeks out, but I'm going to name the guys, and it's all going to be staples that we know we're going to run good, y'all. Come on, man. Number 1, I'm going to take somebody that everybody shouldn't sleep on, but they probably going to sleep on just because. That's Denny Hamlin. I don't give a damn. You go to Daytona, you go to Pocono, and you go to Martinsville. You better take Denny Hamlin for sure. Darlington, questionable, but you better take Denny Hamlin at those 3. So I'll take Denny 1. 2 for me, it's got to be Hendrick Clark. So I'm going to take my boy Chase Elliott. I mean, the Bulldog coming strong. Yeah, I'm taking him, man. He's won some bigger play races. He's coming. Time to win at Daytona. 3, we got some forwards right here. I mean, you know Logano is going to be in it. Come on, series champion, runs good at Daytona, runs good at Talladega, runs good at Atlanta. He knows what he's doing. I'll take Ryan Blaney as well. A little bit better at Talladega, I think, than he is at Daytona. But there again, Fords are going to work together. Chevys are going to work together. Those two will be linked up. Barring a big accident, they should be in good shape. 5, this one was really tough for me right here. This one is kind of like, where do you go? What do you do? There's 3 guys I can name. But I'm going to name a kid that I mentioned earlier that I think is coming into his own, man, and that's Christopher Bell. I'll take another Toyota. 25th. You know, again, I think that he's good. I think that he is a well-rounded race car driver in every form. This isn't his best forte of style of racing, but again, I think he can get it done, good equipment. Dark horses, I mean, we can name, what we got, 5, 2, 3, we'll go 8 total. I got 2 of them written down. 6, Keselowski, not really that dark of a dark horse. And 48 of Bowman, more Hendrick equipment there. I left out Byron. I know I left some guys out. Look, it's not leaving them out. It's just kind of what do you do? Where do you go? Now, I think if you're looking farther back, I think some guys you really got to look out for, survival of the fittest, people that can really go out and do it. You know, Bubba could be a sleeper. I think you look at some of those front row guys. I think you even go further and look at a guy like Corey LaJoy. You know, if they're going to bring and circle one date and they bring it here and he survives and gets up there with a shot late, who knows? He could do it. So the super dark horse, you know, Daytona, we love to bet big money on somebody dark. So me and Lawrence will be throwing it out there on somebody with some huge odds, trying to see what we can't get for sure. So getting ready to get into the hard right turn, but before we do, we're going to pause one last time. Station identification, Coach's Corner Sports Network. Man, I'm ready for some NASCAR, y'all. Last weekend was just a taste. Yeah, I'm going to kill this one and catch that one, Lawrence. But I can't wait for Daytona. I really can't wait for Atlanta. Oh, yeah. There it is. All right. So get into the hard right turn, but before we do, big shout out, Lamar's Body Shop, right over here, 2301 Skidaway Road, hop, skip, and a jump away from Coaches. Lamar and his team, the best in auto collision service, taking care of all your needs. Doesn't matter what it is. You need a paint job, need some parts replaced, insurance claim, whatever it is you need, make sure you go see Lamar and his team up there. Again, 2301 Skidaway Road. Excuse me, hop, skip, and jump away from Coaches. Kind of a win-win. You can go out to Coaches, catch it. You can go hit Lamar, grab some lunch, come back, whatever it may be, man. But got to give a big thanks to him. Love him, man. The dude is awesome. It's one of my folks, man. He sponsors the show every year. Big patron of Coaches and in general. I owe him a couple breakfasts, man. I got to catch him out and buy him a breakfast or two. But Lamar, love you, brother. Thank you for everything you do, man. Greatly appreciate you. So getting into that hard right turn, baby. Hey, man, look. This is where we're going to go in with this Ty Gibbs, all right? So let me get this straight. We're going to penalize. We're going to penalize when we choose to penalize, but when it's not that bad and it's good for TV, we won't penalize, right? I mean, this is what I'm saying. We had Chase Elliott penalized for hooking Denny Hamlin into the wall going 185 mile an hour, and I get that. That's a lot different than 90, but still, I mean, he tried to run him over. I mean, he tried to monster truck. I see stuff like that at in-market arena, man. He tried to Bigfoot him, right? No, I mean, he's not going to pay nothing but some little BS repercussions, all right? Xfinity Series always had really good equipment. He's got great talent, but he hasn't been punched in the face yet. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, at some point in time, I think today's sport, we've gotten soft as drivers because nobody out there won't punch nobody no more. Or if they do, they leave their helmets on. Nobody confronts anybody like a man. They all just do this and that. But stuff like that is, you know, he's got a really bad particular part of doing it. There's a couple other guys out there that lose are cool too, but he does. So this is my question. When are we going to come up with accepted behavior and non-accepted behavior in black and white, right? Like, when are we going to draw a line in NASCAR to go, we can do this but can't do that? I mean, we saw it. We've seen it. I mean, we had this at the Clash last year, right? We had Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Busch, right? You know, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you do it, but they got to get a grasp on it, man. I mean, something should be done. I think the rule book in general needs to be clear. Like I said, there's a lot of things that they needed to go over this year that they didn't. They did change some, but some of it they didn't. And like I said, I just think there's no room in the sport for stuff like that. I think it's a bad look you show young kids, and I really hope that's not what we're getting into. But when you look at the guys like Chase Elliott, and you look at the guys like William Byron, and you look at the guys Ryan Blaney's and the, you know, Kyle Larson's, and I mean, these guys aren't going out there. They're not going to put the gloves on and scrap it out. They don't care anything about it. You know what I mean? It's not that important to them. They are good enough to go. They just don't have that fire about them, personality-wise. So hopefully somebody, maybe Noah, you know what I mean? Maybe Ty and Noah tie it on here later on this year, and you know what I mean? They get to rocking it out. But I mean, we know Chastain will throw a punch, and security will hold him back or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, that's my hard right turn. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if somebody gets to throw one, somebody should be able to return it. And then after two, at least break. If you're going to let one be thrown, somebody ought to at least get a chance to throw one. Anyways, but that's it. That's my rant, man. But anyways, coming up, man, that's going to do it for the rubbing. We're on to the grubbing. I almost forgot, man. I'm so thrown off. It's Thursday. Used to Wednesday. One little staple, man. We're not going to kick it off too hard early in the season. You guys know this is one of my favorite. We got the club. Man, it's looking good tonight, too. Little homemade tater chips. Perfect club sandwich. I always go white on it. Come on, you guys know it. But they'll hook it up any way you want it. Everything on the menu here at Coach's is amazing. Hey, again, Super Bowl Sunday coming up this Sunday, man. Hey, if you guys want to order, you better get it in. Get them big wing platters put in, man. Speaking of Super Bowl, you got Superfest starting off Saturday, right, Lawrence? Kicking off Saturday. Superfest coming up. You got the Yacht Club, little yacht rock coming in Saturday night, and then Sunday before the big showdown and the big game, Jason and Ross, Jason, Courtney, and Ross will be up here playing, man. Going to be an awesome show, keeping you guys entertained. Cold beer, food specials, I'm sure. John and the team, man, they do it big for the Super Bowl up here at Coach's Corner, center of the universe. So if you're looking for something to do on that special Sunday, come out right here, Coach's Corner off Victory Drive, and check it out. Got some really good stuff coming up, planned up already for the year in the Sound Garden. Make sure you're staying up to date on that, following Coach's Corner's page. So many good concerts coming back, some new stuff coming in. I know I will be up here quite often. Again, we'll have Cooler Full of Joys up here, repping it out for the Checkered Flag for charity, some other giveaways. There's no telling what might happen back here in the Sound Garden, man. So make sure you're coming out, supporting the local business here at Coach's. Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games up and running as well, man. Book your tee times online. Go in, check it out. I've been in there a couple times. Hadn't had a chance to hit on the screen yet. Just kind of hanging out in there, checking it out before it was open. Looking forward to it. So, Valentine's Day coming up. If the hubby's looking for something to get the hubby, they got some specials going on over there. So, look it up, Google it up. Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games, right? Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games. That's it, man. Check it out. It's right here across from Coach's Corner, man. They are so awesome. They'll even bring you food over from Coach's, man. You can order it, call it, and they'll bring it over to you. So make sure you check it out. That's going to do it for me, man. I am out of here, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Rubbing and Grubbing. Really appreciate everybody. We're getting the season started off 2025. Got some big things. I use this time usually to talk some reality and truth, and I will today for sure. Hug your loved ones, man, for real. I tell everybody, I lost my grandmother a few weeks ago. A lot of people I know, man, are just passing away, family members and losing family members and going through probably the hardest moments in life, right? So just make sure if you have the time, don't ever go, I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I'm too this. Make the time because, we sit here as humans and we think 100 years, if we're blessed to make it that long, 100 years ain't nothing, man. It goes by really quick. So live every day like it's your last. Don't jump off cliffs or anything stupid like that. But, love life and live life and, hug your loved ones, man. Kiss them, spend time with them. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, really, that's what life is, man. Memories and, time spent with the ones you love. So enjoy your time with everybody. Hope you guys have a good Thursday. Get ready to kick some ass in the Daytona 500. Elliott coming to the front. Super Bowl prediction real quick before we get out of here. My Aunt Dana is a huge Chiefs fan. I'm not going Chiefs though, baby. There's too many of them dogs on them Philly dogs, baby. That Georgia defense getting ready to tear Kansas City's ass up, man. So I know Kirby wish he had them back. All 6 of them would be great. So, anyways, y'all, go Philly dogs, and we'll go 38-34 Philly. 38-34 Philly. High scoring game. 38-34 Philly. There it is, man. Love you guys. Till next Wednesday, back to normal time, y'all. Another episode of Rubbing and Grubbing. Stay safe. Love y'all, and as always, wash your hands, y'all.